So picture this. You're pulling up to your favorite fast food joint, already tasting that juicy burger or those perfectly golden fries in your head. You've probably been craving it all day. But then you get there, and the lights are off. The doors are locked. There's a sign on the window that reads, "Permanently closed." Ever had that moment? Yeah, it's happening a lot more than you think. And trust me, it's not just bad luck or a random glitch in the Matrix. Fast food has been part of American life for decades. It's quick, cheap, and hits the spot when you need comfort food fast. But right now, some of the biggest names in the game, Burger King, McDonald's, TGI Fridays, Red Lobster, they're shutting down by the hundreds. We're talking over 1,000 locations closed across the US, and it's not just a rough patch. This is part of a much bigger shift, something that could seriously change the way we eat in the future. So what's going on? Is the economy collapsing? Are people ditching fast food for kale smoothies? Or is there something deeper happening? Something the big brands aren't exactly shouting from the rooftops? In this video, we're diving into 12 major fast food giants. They're closing locations all across America. We'll get into why it's happening, which brands are on the chopping block next, and what it means for the future of fast food. Stick around till the end, because some of these closures, they're happening under the radar. And one of the next brands to shut its doors might be one you'd never expect. Let's jump in. Burger King, yeah, the Whopper King itself, is in serious trouble. Right now, over 400 Burger King locations across the US are shutting down, and a lot of them are disappearing without warning. So what's behind a flame-grilled fallout? First up, franchise owners are struggling. I'm talking about the people who actually run these individual locations. It's not cheap to keep a Burger King open. Rent's gone up, wages are rising, ingredient costs are off the charts. Some owners are going bankrupt and walking away. Then there's the competition. Let's be honest, Burger King hasn't exactly been winning the fast food race lately. A lot of people say the food just doesn't taste the way it used to. And if you've been in one of their older locations lately, you know the vibe. Slow service, outdated interiors. It's not keeping up with places like McDonald's or Wendys. And remember that moldy Whopper ad? Yeah, that was supposed to prove their food was preservative-free. Instead, it grossed people out. Definitely not the comeback campaign they were hoping for. But here's the twist. Burger King isn't rolling over. They're investing millions to revamp stores, upgrade drive-thrus, and lean into digital orders. It's bold, but will it work? Or is Burger King slowly grilling itself into extinction? Time will tell. Now let's talk McDonald's. The Golden Arches, the biggest fast food chain on the planet. With tens of thousands of locations worldwide, you'd think they're untouchable. But even McDonald's is quietly closing stores in the US. In 2023 alone, they shut down hundreds of locations. No big headlines, just gone. And they're not done yet. So what gives? Well, unlike Burger King, McDonald's isn't drowning in debt. This is a calculated move. They're trimming the fat, cutting underperforming locations so they can pour more resources into the stores that actually bring in money. It's a fewer but better strategy. And then there's automation. McDonald's is going all in on tech. We're talking AI-powered drive-thrus, robot kitchens, and self-serve kiosks. Some locations are already running with way fewer employees. Cool or creepy? You decide. There's also the price issue. Let's be real, McDonald's just isn't that cheap anymore. I've heard from people who walked in expecting a $5 meal and walked out paying $12. Some folks are skipping it altogether. Still, McDonald's isn't going anywhere. They're betting on a future where your Big Mac is served fast, digitally, and with fewer humans involved. The big question is, will customers actually go for it? Or will they move on to brands that still feel, well, human? And now Wendys. Ah yes, the queen of fresh, never frozen beef and the sassiest Twitter account in the biz. But behind the memes and roasts, things haven't been so chill. In 2023, Wendys announced the closure of over 140 locations across the US. And that might just be the beginning. So what's the problem? Most Wendys locations are actually franchises, run by individual business owners. And lately, those owners have been getting squeezed hard. Between rising rents, higher wages, and skyrocketing ingredient prices, a lot of them just can't keep the lights on. And let's be honest, some of those older Wendys locations haven't aged well. Customers expect sleek, modern, fast. But some of these stores still feel stuck in the early 2000s. That's not cutting it anymore. Wendys knows it's in trouble, and it's trying to fix things. But instead of giving every location a makeover, the company is picking and choosing. Some stores are getting shiny upgrades, while others are just getting shut down completely. And here's something customers have definitely noticed. Wendys prices are creeping up. That classic meal you used to grab on a budget? It's now close to what you'd pay at a sit-down restaurant. Naturally, people aren't thrilled. But it gets worse. Wendy's recently announced it's testing surge pricing. Yeah, like Uber. The idea? Prices will go up during busy times. Need a burger during the lunch rush? It might cost more than it did yesterday. Unsurprisingly, that sparked a ton of backlash. I mean, let's be real. Fast food is supposed to be simple and affordable, not a guessing game. Will people accept this kind of dynamic pricing? A lot of folks are saying, absolutely not. Still, Wendy's isn't walking away. The brand's shifting focus to drive-through only restaurants, mobile ordering, and AI-driven service. That's where they think the future lies. But here's the big question. With rising prices and fewer locations, can Wendy's survive long-term? Right now, that future's looking a little shaky. Up next, KFC. The Colonel's chicken might still be finger-licking good, but behind the scenes, the chain is going through some major shakeups. KFC is shutting down a surprising number of locations across the U.S., and most of them are dine-in restaurants. Why? Because people just aren't eating inside anymore. Fast food culture has changed. Now it's all about the drive-through, mobile orders, and delivery apps. Dine-in sales are dropping fast, and big sit-down KFCs are becoming way too expensive to run. So KFC's making a shift. They're closing those old-school, full-size restaurants and replacing them with smaller, takeout-focused spots. But it's not just the format that's the problem. The fried chicken world has gotten crowded. You've got Popeyes, Chick-fil-A, and even newer players all fighting for the same customers and offering better deals, faster service, or both. KFC is struggling to keep up. Add rising costs for chicken, rent, and labor, and the whole operation starts to feel unsustainable. That's why KFC is now leaning hard into digital orders, drive-through service, and sleeker, more efficient restaurant designs. But will that be enough to save the brand? With fewer locations and tougher competition, KFC's future is far from guaranteed. Let's talk Taco Bell. Known for wild menu inventions and late-night cravings, Taco Bell has always had a loyal fan base. But lately, even this fast food favorite is starting to feel the heat. Across the country, Taco Bell is quietly closing multiple locations. And no, it's not random. It's part of a bigger trend that's hitting the entire fast food world. Rising costs, changing habits, and shifting strategies. So why is Taco Bell shutting its doors? First, operating costs are through the roof. Ingredients, rent, wages, it's all going up. And for some Taco Bell locations, especially the ones that aren't performing well, the numbers just don't add up anymore. Most of the closures are happening in spots where sales have been sluggish for a while. Basically, if the store can't pull its weight financially, it's getting cut. Second, the way people use fast food has changed. More and more customers are skipping the dining room altogether. They're ordering from their phones, hitting the drive-thru, or using delivery apps. Sitting inside with a tray of tacos just isn't as common anymore. That's why Taco Bell is pivoting. They're betting on smaller, more streamlined restaurants that are built for speed and convenience. They're also investing in tech-forward designs to meet the demands of a more digital generation. But the big question remains, can innovation bring Taco Bell back to the top? Or will rising prices and fewer stores slowly chip away at its fan base? Now let's talk Subway, a brand that once dominated the sandwich world. Fresh bread, made-to-order subs, it was everywhere. But now, hundreds of Subway locations are closing across the U.S., and the future's looking uncertain. So what's going wrong? The biggest issue is inconsistency. Subway is a franchise-based chain, meaning every store is run by a different owner. And while some locations serve up great food with solid service, others, not so much. And when customers can't count on a consistent experience, they stop coming back. Trust in the brand has taken a serious hit. On top of that, the sandwich game is more competitive than ever. You got spots like Jersey Mike's, Firehouse Subs, and even local delis stepping in with fresh ingredients and better customer service. Subway's once unique value just doesn't stand out like it used to. And with more and more locations shutting down, people are starting to wonder, can Subway turn things around before it's too late? Subway is slipping, and fast. It's not just about the sandwiches anymore. Consumers today want speed, quality, and convenience. And that's where brands like Jimmy John's and Jersey Mike's are absolutely crushing it. Meanwhile, Subway is still clinging to its old-school method. Build your own sub, in-store, slow and steady. But let's be honest, in a world where people are used to ordering lunch with a few taps on their phone, Subway's model feels dated. And it's not just about speed. health and sustainability matter more than ever. Younger consumers especially are paying attention to what goes into their food, where it comes from, and how it's made. And they're flocking to trendier, fast casual spots that check all those boxes. Subway built its brand on being a healthier option, but these days that image is being challenged, and Subway's had a tough time keeping up. Still, they're not throwing in the towel just yet. The company is trying to rebrand, revamp its menu, and offer more modern flavors. But here's the big question. Can a new look and a few menu tweaks really turn the tide? Only time will tell. Now let's switch gears and talk about Dunkin. You know it. You probably love it. Coffee, donuts, breakfast sandwiches. It's been a go-to for years. But even this fan favorite is starting to feel the pressure. Across the U.S., Dunkin is quietly closing dozens of underperforming locations. And no, it's not a sign that people have stopped drinking coffee. That'll never happen. This is all part of a bigger strategy. Dunkin is trying to adapt before it's too late. So why are the lights going out at some Dunkin stores? First off, competition is heating up. Starbucks is everywhere. Local coffee shops are on the rise. And even fast food chains like McDonald's and Chick-fil-A are stepping into the breakfast lane with serious success. That's cutting into Dunkin's customer base. Then there's the franchising issue. Like Subway, Dunkin relies heavily on franchise owners. And that means not all locations are created equal. Some stores are killing it, while others are falling behind, thanks to outdated buildings or poor management. And finally, consumer habits have changed. People don't want to wait in line anymore. They want to order on an app, grab their coffee, and go. So Dunkin is leaning into digital, investing in mobile-first stores, and scaling back traditional spots that just aren't built for the modern customer. Despite the challenges, Dunkin still has a strong brand and a loyal following. They're working hard to improve the menu, bring in new tech, and stay relevant. But the question is, will cutting underperforming stores and going digital be enough to stay ahead in a crowded market? We'll have to wait and see. Next up, Pizza Hut. This one's a big one because it's not just a few closures here and there. Pizza Hut is going through a major transformation. Gone are the days of sitting in a cozy Pizza Hut booth, sharing a deep dish with family. Those iconic dine-in locations, many are disappearing. Instead, Pizza Hut is pivoting hard toward delivery and carryout. Why the change? Well, like everything else, it's the customers. People just aren't dining in like they used to. They want pizza fast, hot, and delivered straight to their door. Sitting down at a restaurant just doesn't fit into today's lifestyle. At the same time, rivals like Domino's and Papa John's have absolutely nailed the delivery game. They're faster, more convenient, and fully optimized for online orders. Pizza Hut, it's been struggling to keep up. And then there's the cost factor. Maintaining those big dine-in restaurants? Expensive. Rents up. Labor costs are rising. Ingredient prices are higher. It just doesn't make financial sense anymore. So Pizza Hut is making the tough call. They're shutting down large, outdated stores and focusing on smaller, leaner spots designed purely for pickup and delivery. They're also leaning into tech, upgrading apps, streamlining orders, and working on faster delivery systems. It's a big shift, and sure, it might disappoint the fans who grew up eating inside those iconic red-roofed restaurants. But Pizza Hut isn't going away. It's just evolving. Still, the big question remains. Will this new model bring Pizza Hut back to the top? Or is it already too late in a pizza market that's more competitive than ever? Can Pizza Hut really claw its way back to the top? Or is it slowly falling behind in the fast-paced world of delivery-first pizza chains? That's the million-dollar question. And honestly, only time will tell. Now let's talk about Chipotle, the fast-casual king of burrito bowls and build-your-own Mexican fare. Fresh ingredients, fast service, and a better-for-you image helped Chipotle blow up over the last decade. But even they're feeling the heat right now. Behind the scenes, Chipotle has been quietly shutting down select locations across the U.S. And it's not because people stopped loving guac. The real issue? Skyrocketing costs. Ingredients, rent, labor, it's all gone up. And for some stores, it's just not profitable to stay open anymore. Instead of holding on to underperforming spots, Chipotle is choosing to cut its losses and focus on high-traffic, high-performance locations that actually bring in consistent profits. But that's not the only reason. Consumer behavior has changed. People aren't always coming into the store to eat anymore. They're tapping buttons on their phone, ordering from apps, and picking up food without ever stepping inside. So Chipotle is pivoting hard toward mobile-first, delivery-friendly stores. And let's not ignore the competition. Places like Qdoba and local taquerias are offering similar food at lower prices And in some areas, they're winning. That's putting pressure on Chipotle to keep its edge. The good news? Chipotle's not backing down. They're beefing up delivery, expanding menu options, and rolling out new store designs that work better in the digital-first era. They're even testing Chip-It lanes, drive-through windows made specifically for mobile pickup. So now the big question is, will closing some stores and going all in on delivery and innovation help Chipotle stay on top? We'll have to wait and see. Next, let's talk about Papa John's. Yeah, they're still around and still slinging pizzas, but not without some serious struggles. Papa John's has been closing stores across the U.S., and it's all part of a tough balancing act. Stay profitable, stay relevant, and survive in an industry that's more competitive than ever. Their biggest issue? Aggressive competition. Chains like Domino's and Little Caesars are throwing punches with lower prices, faster delivery, and deals that are hard to beat. That makes it tough for Papa John's to hold on to its slice of the market, especially in areas where competitors are just doing it better. And like the others, they're feeling the pinch from rising costs. Rent, labor, ingredients. It's all eating into the bottom line. For franchise owners running less than stellar stores, the math just doesn't work out anymore, so they're closing shop. But Papa John's isn't just sitting back. They're trimming the menu, focusing on carry-out and delivery, and launching new formats like ghost kitchens, delivery-only kitchens that cut costs and boost efficiency. They're also trying to keep things fresh with new menu items like the Papa Bowls and investing in better tech for smoother online orders. Still, it begs the question, is this enough to keep Papa John's in the game? In a world where convenience, cost, and speed are everything, the margin for error is razor thin. Time will tell if Papa John's can hold its ground or get outpaced by faster, leaner competitors. Let's talk about Jack in the Box, a fast food favorite known for its tacos, burgers, and all-day, all-night menu. It's been a go-to spot for late-night cravings and quirky ad campaigns. But behind the scenes, Jack in the Box is closing down dozens of locations across the U.S., and it's not just a coincidence. So what's going on? The main issue is declining sales and rising costs. Jack in the Box is facing fierce competition from major players like McDonald's, Wendys, and Taco Bell, all offering similar menu items at competitive prices. And with ingredient costs climbing and labor shortages hitting hard, it's becoming nearly impossible to keep underperforming locations open, especially in low-traffic areas. There's also a bigger shift in consumer habits. More people are looking for healthier options or moving toward fast casual and digital-first brands that offer better quality, transparency, and convenience. For younger consumers especially, greasy late-night tacos aren't the vibe anymore. They want clean ingredients, customizable meals, and seamless mobile ordering. While Jack in the Box is trying to keep up, offering new menu items like spicy chicken strips, loaded fries, and upgrading its tech for mobile orders, it's still unclear if that'll be enough. Some stores are getting remodeled. Others are focusing more on delivery and digital orders. But the brand's identity feels a little stuck in the past. So the question is, will trimming the fat and modernizing the menu keep Jack in the Box in the game? Or is it another fast food icon on the decline? Only time will tell. Next, let's take a closer look at Hardees, another classic American chain that's quietly closing down select locations. And here's where things start to get really interesting. See, while most people chalk up these closures to economics or changing tastes, there are lesser-known forces at play. The stuff most people don't notice unless they're paying very close attention. One of the biggest surprises in the industry right now, the rise of ghost kitchens. These are delivery-only restaurants with no dining rooms, no cashiers, and no signs out front. Just a kitchen churning out food under big brand names. Chains like Pizza Hut and Papa John's are already testing ghost kitchens in high-demand urban areas. Why? Because it's cheaper, no waitstaff, no storefront. Just food made for delivery apps like DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Grubhub. It's a game changer. Ghost kitchens allow brands to expand quickly and cut overhead costs. And it's reshaping the future of fast food delivery. But that's not all. Fast food chains are also investing big in technology. We're talking AI-powered drive-thrus, smart kiosks, and robotic kitchens. McDonald's is already experimenting with AI that remembers your past orders and recommends your usual meal the second you pull up. Some locations are even using robot arms in the kitchen to flip burgers and drop fries. Sounds futuristic? It is. But it also raises a serious question. What happens to the workers? Fewer cashiers, fewer cooks, more machines, new menu items, tech-driven service, and even entirely new store formats are becoming the norm. Because in a rapidly changing world, adapt or disappear. Did you know Taco Bell once had a beefy crunch burrito that fans loved, but it was still discontinued? Or that Subway experimented with cookie dough pizza in select regions. These limited-time offerings often surprise customers, but when they flop or don't meet expectations, they quietly disappear, sometimes taking entire store locations down with them. Fast food chains often catch heat for contributing to the global obesity crisis. But here's a twist. Many are now trying to rebrand themselves as health-conscious. Chains like Chipotle and Subway are pushing bowls, salads, and lower-calorie options to win over today's more mindful eaters. Once known for greasy indulgence, these brands are now marketing themselves as the better-for-you choice. Surprised? So are we. And then there's the influence of social media and cancel culture. Remember in 2020 when Chick-fil-A faced backlash over donations to anti-LGBTQ organizations? It led to declines in sales and closures in some regions. Or when Papa John's hit a PR nightmare after its founder's controversial remarks. That controversy forced a change in leadership and a full brand overhaul. It's a clear sign public perception can make or break a fast food empire. Let's hear from you. Which fast food chain are you going to miss the most? Do you think these giants can bounce back? Or is this the beginning of the end? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Like this video if you found these facts surprising. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the food industry, fast food trends, and the business behind your favorite bites. Thanks for watching, and remember, in the fast food world, change is always on the menu.